I really miss her brother. We have to cherish the time that we have together, however short or long. And if you're really hip to the trip, I mean, any little living thing, experience, and it gets beyond that obvious, really, we have feelings because we have, well, did you notice the eclipse season, Pisces, brought upon these things? And with Neptune, it has to do with the grand scheme. You know, we're talking about the oceanic availability of all things. Like it's just there it is, life itself, everything. What is available for us to learn from? And so it's all feeling for sure. And so I want to get back to just that I have this little sweetheart, see, and she's purring and cleaning her little paws, you know, and I could get into her personality, but I want to honor it. You know, she's very much a trip, you know, because some things are sticking out and other things are sticking out. Maybe it's just me, right? We're becoming more and more conscious, I guess, consciously aware is a good thing to say. And so, because I thought, well, I've always had cats and dogs, I've always been around it. In fact, I'm contemplating on letting her have a litter. Have faith, and really what I mean is, how do you like the dream? You know, are you that kind of person who is manifesting things in a dream scape? That's the 5D. That's the heavenly realm, you know, of really if you can appreciate what you have and want what you have, you know, and that's oh, when it comes to having to have to let go of my baby black cat that I got. He was the best little baby, and I don't know what happened. Right, I really don't. That was a freaky thing. Like I said, something about maybe the food or maybe the litter box, the litter. But my older cat went through the same thing. Anyway, I've said this 3 times over again or something, and I also made a longer video on it. And of course, you know, I don't know if you noticed the passage we are going through called life. Are you getting into it? Well, within it, there's cycles and stuff like that. We are going through, and then we look at the astrological, see the very time era that we're living in now, particularly, and all the time that our particular, see, my DNA, your DNA, the body in particular, right? We tend to think of the body when we think of DNA, but it's really an electrical, like panel kind of thing, which holds our ancestral information and stuff beyond that we can't fathom, but really it is knowable. See, this time we're in now, according to the stars, you see, the stars are. I don't know if it's time you want to say that, but it's like this. What if it's a condition of the not only the galaxy, but really we start with the solar system and then we have a galaxy, and then we have the vast expansive space, and therein many other objects, I guess, right? And just you know, that alone, generally, when we start looking into it, come on, that's the way it is. It's just there's more life, and it's all human. See, that's the thing, is we are connected to all of that. Our solar system is there astrologically. It kind of, that's what astrology, the metaphysical part, the esoteric language of it, that starts to point at, maybe it's not so random after all. Maybe there is something that we can know because there is this mechanism that we live within that is, I don't want to say biological, but why not? Why, that's the best way to understand it, because you could say, yeah, that's, I guess that one scientist says that you are hooked into it biologically, anatomically. Nobody knows what they're talking about when they talk about atoms and what we're really looking at when we start to narrow things down like that, because it turns into light. And there we go. You know, how low can we go, or high, I guess, if we talk about a light beyond our own ability to tap into awareness, like our own experience. And then, of course, it comes with feelings. But, wow, there is a conversation to be had about feelings generated by the illusion of the mind. And see, encapsulated therein, I mean, it's okay, the mind and fear are synonymous. And by the way, people can understand how fear is the opposite of love, and love is human and fear is not, and so fear isn't human, and so the mind isn't human. It's just a binary processing robot that is working on a very simple system of signaling. How about that? Of vibrations, vibrational frequencies, just on-off signals. And that's pretty scary to think of that, but not for your average video game player. We're like, yeah, and where's the plug again? Well, we do have something to figure out here. I don't know if this is interesting to anybody, but it helps to get a little scientific and out of the body every once in a while, right? Because that's the comfortable place. We are kind of otherwise it can be kind of entrapping and miserable, right? I mean, I don't want to get into it, right? I mean, I wish to uplift from the fear of having any kind of experiences, whether you are amidst disease or not. To tell you the truth, if you are diseased and cancerous and stuff like this, like what happened to my cat the other day, I can get into you the profound experience of first of all just having the cat that came to me. That's a black cat. This is my dream. I want the darn cat. I really do. There's no. I mean, I can't for 1 minute blame myself as to what happened there. No, something strange going on there. And anyway, I don't like talking about it, because when you're in the midst of making yourself vulnerable by self-examining or examining anything, there's always a second. It's weird to say second opinion, right? Because now, I mean, I just see the inverted hourglass things. Like, well, where is your own awareness, and do you have in touch with your feelings and all of that, right? Looking deeply into it. The time of, see, we live in a place that it's a video game, right? So if it's a video game, it has a creator, and not you or I, even though we're player 1 and 2, have control or know, like really where it comes from. See how ultimately, and I didn't just say we can't know though. This is what is trippy is if anybody is looking at my videos in the brown shirts, by the way, it's intertwined with, I'm doing us a favor and putting them along with the pink shirt videos, which they are in totally different times. It's like when Mars passed over my sun and my Pluto, and now it's heading towards a Mars square Mars, but the closer it gets to squaring my Mars, it starts to trine my Jupiter, which is interesting because you need to be paying attention. And then astrology, like, you'll see what they're trying to do with it symbolically, what it points at. In case you didn't know. Yeah, of course, maybe with Shauna, every once in a while, with that Mars in Cancer particularly, she has to deal with, boy, the Mars in Cancer in general. It's a little bit of a masked madhouse while Mars is visiting Cancer. Cancer wants peace, like, like a very sensitive feeling quality, intuition. I'm not saying that Mars doesn't have intuition, but the sensitivity part, the two together do not mix. It's malefic. It's very touchy. If you haven't noticed, I mean, people might be that way out there. I mean, I know I went through mine and I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. I can't. So you need to drop the past, right? That's my lesson, is drop the past and think forward. I mean, go with what feels good, and see, give us some time to assemble ourselves from having just been busted apart. Some of us have gone through such a lot over the last, not just well, yeah, the 3 years, 4 years, but no, it's a lifetime of this. And if you haven't noticed, I mean, we are looking into like going through. Talk about that hourglass passage. It's like the eye of the needle, where everybody, like, who is going with us to the promised land? I don't know. Fuck. Thanks for listening to this. It's not up to any one person, and we're not really dragging. See, this is the thing. That solid stream thread, they have to let go of each other, see, and get into reality, because that's the only solid stream there is, as far as if there is a witness to a mind to interact with and say, this is the dependable one, and it has the information. Outer space reality. Be with that. See, have you opened an account with that? To be with it. To be with it. You don't have to believe it. That's a whole different genre of meta, right? It's meta. You have a mental scape. And some people, are they, do they have a reliable be with? See, be withness. Or is it witness? Withness. This gives me joy, by the way. I'm a Gemini rising by now. And our language does hold tons of keys that is remarkable. And won't you sing with me? The A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Next time, won't you sing with me? It's talking about resonation. Your heart, the word heart. I love having my chalkboard for everybody that wants to graduate into their intellectual, the right way to say it is intellectual properties, their spiritual belongings. It's not for everybody, and neither is the graduation into the universe. We are here in a very peculiar place, and there's only so much time, and there's also attacks against you here. It's kind of weird. We would rather not talk about that. It's terrible, because it's looking like, well, wait a minute. I guess it's supposed to be this way, where it's looking a little bit unorganized. Unorganized. See, now what I know of the word, what I know of the, what an organ is. If you know what an organ is, then you'll, and then also your words. You see, you have a suffix at the end is eyes. That's a suffix, and ization is a suffix, and so is shun, right? And ick. You have to know your words, right? And that's where we really start getting into something that gets pretty darn serious here. But we're going to take it to court and stuff. We take our right to remain silent. But the only one that's hooked into the silence is your heart. See, and what's the silent? Well, it's the silent movie that we're in now. If you have this on, like without earphones or even with them, but I would prefer without earphones. I don't know. Within your silent movie, you are adding in my voice, and let it be just a celebration of something you already knew, but you maybe forgot. Really, it's what I didn't say that's me governing that into you. You have a profound responsibility to start governing that into your mind, into your perception enough, like to see you're just picking up on, oh no, I picked up on that, but somebody told me no, kind of a thing. Or even I told myself no, and there wasn't enough around me that said, no, you're right about that intuition, and keep going. See, the thing is you will always be slowed down. I mean, even though that slowing down of you, if it's an ego buster, some people have a huge lesson here, but others have just something that it's like have to do with relationship, and it's traumatizing enough to send them into what is called ego death. And whether or not people really see, when ego death isn't it, when you're completely stripped down of everything you thought you were, it's not a very good thing. See, if that happens, it's a reset. It's called a reset. Really, you come into the present, because that's the word that's inside the word present, if you knew. Here, let me write it down here. Do I have my ink pen? But getting into your ego death, and then see the vital thing, that's only half the problem, the ego death. You're in a state now of complete like ground zero, and you need to remember something. And somebody else, see, this is your guru or something, if you're lucky, but a lot of people aren't this lucky. And really, just, do you have a good book? Can't be that Bible over there. Boy, that's a lot of gibberish and doesn't really lead you to any clue as to how to deal with it. Not really, not realistically. Not realistically. It's very fantastic, about the words there, how they personify an experience, like just your electrical body, say, your, your heart, which is purely electrical, versus your mind, which is like, it's just getting residuals. It does receive from a main router, which is the heart, and then talk about another router. We have the plasmatic field here, and the sun has a lot to do with the way we feel physically. Mainly, yes, I would say atomically. Let's get into our. Wow, is it minute 20? Yeah, let's get into our what's happening here. What possibly could be going on if we are a technology. There's only so much time here for somebody to say, wow, I hope you don't take this as so seriously as like as if you were responsible for any of this. It's just kind of, you're here for a limited time. And having said this, I don't know what I got done in this video unless I keep going and try and open it up more. You see, but I'm onto something with my blank page, which is called Now, and so are you. It's certainly not the words. I wanted to write down another word for us. There's so many words that have come up, and I wanted to show you what's really there. See if you really dialed in on what we're really saying, it will blow your mind. First of all, you might not be ready for it, but then again, if you're intelligent enough and ready, like if you've seen hell enough, then you'll start to understand. Oh, because, well, how would you ever differentiate hell unless you saw heaven? See, if it starts to get strange like that, if you want to be able to be a master of both, I guess. But yeah, this is an electrical scene here, and there's a real electrical, I guess you say, reality, and then there's a fake electrical, which is meta. We have meta, and quite literally, you'll have an overlay of people that I hate to say it, I don't know why I'm here, except for I'm here to do precisely what I'm doing here now. And that's why I kind of sing to these people around me. I say, I'm here doing precisely what I'm supposed to be doing. And then the key is this: how about you? What the fuck are these people doing? They don't even have time for themselves, or even to ask what they're doing, right? Comment section down below. Have you noticed that there's something running blind? Maybe, and it could be you also, right? I know that I am not suggesting to not go blind and to start running, because you don't want to be left in here. I don't know what to say. I'm a very physical person. I turned into a Gemini rising. I remember when that happened. It was not a very comfortable time. I just graduated into, okay, so Gemini is Mercury. And I have a mission with when I open my mouth. No, don't get me wrong. If I have something radiating out of it, my little physical aperture, there's a reason why that somehow, isn't this intense? What if, what do you want me to do? Is just sew my lips up? I don't know what I would do now. Well, I know what I'm supposed to do next. See, I'm supposed to refine something here to where somebody says, you know what? I just made $500,000 on what you have been piecing together over 500 videos. And I'm sitting here in Tahiti, stirring up a martini. Is there anything that you need today? And I'll be like, yeah, can you violently thrust your head towards your martini and make sure the straw goes up far enough. Sorry, it's not a good part of the movie. I'm glad I got to 24. See, I get rewarded by universe. Universe says, okay, and out. You did great. I'm. What do you want to do now, Shauna? I want a feathered creature that I can ride around. Shauna, look behind you. Do you see your wings? You got it? You got it? Yeah. Is that what my chickens were trying to tell me the whole time? Yes. Do not hang on to one fucking bit. The moment that you are ready, it's going to all drop away. Your wings are going to be there, and you're going to fly away.